Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to your weekly general taroscope, which is for the general energies, trends, and themes that we're likely to experience over the coming week. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit the subscribe button. So you will get 3 sets of cards: a destiny card, direction cards, and insight cards. And all of this will be informed or enhanced by my own intuitive message. So before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So this week, your intuitive message was, what I saw was a party. But it was wild. It was like, you know, sort of like a grotesque sort of, you know, scary kind of party, you know, like kind of like the cat of, you know, like the, what do they call it? Like the carnival, but like a really sort of distorted and dark version, you know, like, I don't know if you remember the, in, I think it was like 2015, 2016, there was this trend where people would show up in those like scary clown masks and just stare at you. Listen, do not ever pull up on me in one of those masks, you know, because there's only 2 things that are going to happen. 1, I will run screaming for the hills. 2, my fight or flight instinct kicks in and I'm gonna beat your ass. Like plain, I tell you, there are not many things that really frighten me in the world, but I tell you that scary clown-ish, like I just cannot, right? Like it's genuinely like a fear of mine. Like it really freaks me out. And so when I went into my intuition and I saw this really wild party, what I saw was that, right? And what I understand is, you know, when the Fool card represents foolish people, stupid people, people that play the clown, etc., all the clowns are out this week, right? I don't know what's going on in the air, in the sky as I'm recording this. I haven't even looked at this week's astrology, but I can tell you this is going to be one of those weeks where all of the crazies and all of the clowns are out. This is one of those weeks where, and you know me, I'm kind of, you know, straight up with it. I always tell people, like, if it's you, I'm going to tell you it's you. This is one of those weeks where it's not you, it's everybody else, okay? And so I'm just going to say everyone's going to be a little crazy. And remember as well, because you know, we all come from our own perspective, you might be one of the clowns in somebody else's story this week. But I'm going to tell you straight up, the world is a little bit weird this week, all right? So just keep that in mind and know it'll pass, all right? With that said, let's have a look at our our destiny card for the week ahead from the Human Design Oracle deck. We have... Ooh, okay, look at that. All right, so the jumping card is the Gate 36 and Greener Grass. Now, we've seen this card, or should I say we saw the energy of this card show up a lot in 2020 and 2021. So when I did the 2021 readings in 2020, I remember saying in them, I couldn't understand it at the time because all I just kept seeing was this mass migration of people. There were just so many people, like, just, you know, like going here, there, and everywhere. And I was like, I can just see this mass migration. And then the Great Resignation began. The Greener Grass card is just that. Sometimes the grass isn't always necessarily greener, and as the saying goes, the grass is green where you water it. This may very well be a week where you just have to make the best of a situation that you're in to get the most out of what you have available to you as an experience. Okay, so it's kind of one of those weeks where you might wish it were different. You may wish that the crazies weren't out. You may wish that everything and everyone was a little bit less, you know, but it is what it is. So work with what you've got. Okay, so for our direction cards, how do we best utilize this greener grass energy? So where could we potentially look? Or more importantly, how do we just navigate what is available to us so that we don't make a knee-jerk reaction? Well, one of the ways is by celebrating or enjoying what is present at this moment in time, even if it's not the best thing, you know, or the best thing since sliced bread or whatever. How do you enjoy what is? instead of, you know, worrying about and pining for what isn't or what you don't have. We've got the Four of Pentacles. One way that we could potentially improve this week is to get our sleeping pattern in order. 2 4s represents insomnia. And then we've got the Hanged Man. Through sheer true acceptance and acknowledgement that you are not in control here, the Hanged Man card has a very powerful energy of acceptance, right? It very often shows up for things like delays, etc. Now, on a more microcosmic level, for a select few of you, especially for those of you that have been waiting for a bonus, maybe you've been waiting for money or resources to come in, I'm really sorry to say, but there does look like there's some kind of delay. For those of you that have been promised a pay rise or a promotion, etc., and it's like, well, you know, I'm not getting it, so I'm just going to walk. You're being asked to take a breath, reassess, reevaluate, get some actual rest, right? Sit still for a minute. And before you make a hasty decision, ask yourself, okay, can I take a minute to peel it back here for a sec? Very possible, okay? But like I say, it's like the funds, the resources, the money, whatever is expected is on hold. The other thing with this as well, you can act a damn fool if you want, or you can just say, okay, you know what? This isn't moving right now. It's not going where I would like it to. In fact, it's not going at all. So how do I work within the confines or the limitations that are set around me already? Okay, now for your insight cards, if you could see around corners, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So in this deck, it's called the Mother of Pentacles. But absolutely beautiful. I love this deck. It was a limited run edition deck because I know people always ask, what deck is that? It's called the Black deck. It's by R. Black, the artist. They may have a few left, I don't know. Maybe check out their page on Facebook. I do know it was a limited run, and I myself bought 2 of them just in case, because I loved it so much. And I'm glad I did, because the material is not great, I have to say, but the images are just exquisite. Then you've got the Daughter of Cups, which is actually the Page of Cups. And then we have the World card. So there's a few things, right? In terms of if we could see around corners on the wider world stage, we're going to see a development as to a larger story that's been playing out for or with women for quite some time. We're also going to see a development around children, children's homes, children's education, etc. There's going to be a big conversation or a big debate about this over the course of this week. Now, the other thing as well, with the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, what you're looking at there is a delve into what, on a more personal sort of microcosmic level, on an inner level, this is about understanding where you are at emotionally and how to care for yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. There's some kind of realization of what you've neglected on a personal level that will come when you realize, actually, you know what, I was putting way too many eggs in somebody else's basket for something. So there's a potentially like a moment here where you kind of say, okay, yeah, you know what, I've been putting all of this stuff on hold for this, when actually, you know, that's not what I need. The other thing with the World card and the Page of Cups, the collective sort of community, let's say, is very focused on children, the welfare of children. On the wider world stage as well, some kind of global humanitarian effort is going to be needed around food, clothing, and shelter. Now, you know, that stands every bloody week. But this I actually think is going to be in terms of, I'm not seeing a disaster here, but I am seeing an aid effort that's being put forward in some regard. This is kind of like, I don't know if you've seen that thing where it's like No Child Left Behind, or, you know, you can donate a meal or something. There's something like that that's getting a lot of eyes and traction at this moment in time. I gotta say as well, this will be a week where we are, this will be a week where people in general will be very easily manipulated emotionally. And for that reason, your emotional strength needs to be solid this week. Okay, like you really need to be on it. With that said, let me know how this shows up in the world. Let me know how this shows up on a personal sort of level. That emotional volatility as well, one last added thing. There might be a tendency or a desire to kind of almost like jump out of or go away from. You know, that's what this greener grass is about. It's like you might decide, well, you know what, I'm just going to do this. This feels like the right thing for me to do. And actually it's a knee-jerk reaction. This week you really do need to make sure that your emotional stability and emotional intelligence actually is in check. All right, I love it when you guys send me articles or post links to things that have shown up in the readings. It shows us that tarot is doing what it does best. So thank you so much for that. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. Take care, and I'll see you soon.